Hello, welcome to Authentically Me, Tina Brown. It's a beautiful day in the Carolinas. It's I don't know, it might be 80, and I'm at the farm, and I just thought I would check in. I haven't checked in a while, and let you know there could be a horse come up at any moment. I don't know where they are, but I was thinking of the nights at the round table again. You know, stuff that we talk about, and I've had some feedback from some people. You know, and some of the feedback has been good, and other ones are like, I think they assume that because I'm talking about it, right, that I'm still in the middle of it, or that I haven't healed from it, or that I am constantly in this state of thinking about it and, you know, all that stuff. And that's not true. So I just wanted to share with you the difference between when you're really in the middle of it, right, and when you're on the other side of it. When I was in the middle of, or before I even started the middle of it, of looking at, you know, the abuse of, even when I was young, right, we don't know, of really facing it, I couldn't talk about it. I would have got defensive, argumentative. I would have tried to shove you away. I would have shut down. I could not have spoke about it. There's no way. And then in the middle of healing from it, I cried a lot. I couldn't even say the word dad and violence, or the embarrassment or the shame that I felt for having a mom that, you know, chose drugs and alcohol and her stuff, you know, over me, or, you know, foster care, any of that weird shit, or the sexual abuse, doesn't matter. I couldn't speak about it because I was in the middle of it, and it would bring up emotion and fear and tears, and because it was processing through the energy body. But when we're through it, on the other side of it, right, we can talk about it, and without any emotion, right, just in a calm manner, in a manner of, that's just matter of fact. Today in my life, some of the stuff that I speak about is just a matter of fact. It's just a fact that happened. It's like putting a little dot on a piece of paper. Dot, that happened. But there's nothing attached to it. And if there's nothing attached to the happening, then guess what? There's no cage. Then the cage is lifted, right? It's only those attachments that I put on those dots on that paper that create that cage. And so I just want you to know that what I share about on these videos and on YouTube is the stuff that has, by the grace of God, moved up and through this body, and that there's freedom with. Sometimes this word that I hate called trigger happens, and maybe, like, I'm not a big crowd people. I don't like crowds, obviously. You can tell. I'm not a big crowd girl. But, you know, I don't like getting bumped into and all that stuff. And I can call it and label that all sorts of things, right? Or I don't have to label that at all, and I can just let it be what it is. And just be like, oh yeah, Tina doesn't do crowds, and that's okay. I don't have to do crowds, and neither do you. Or you can love to be in the middle of them, and that's cool too, you know. I know people that are more the merrier, and that's awesome. You know, people that can't be alone, that's awesome. People that can be alone, that's awesome. It's all awesome. That's the point, right? So we can stop judging each other on whether we think we're healed or we're not healed, and just start walking the road together. Still recognizing the round table is important, and who sits at that table is important, because those are the things I need to heal. Who's at that table? Some of that stuff is you know, I don't know. I can check and go, are you healed? Have I allowed that energy to come up and out? Am I still holding on to angst with that? Is there still a cage there? Or is it just a dot on a piece of paper? Right? That's the stuff. That's the healing. And how free do I want to be? Always the question. Do I want to run around? I used to run around with this ultra sensitive I won't say ego, but pride or ultra sensitive, whatever. And if you said anything to me, I'd get aggressive. If you looked at me wrong, I might get aggressive. If you touched me, I'd definitely probably be able to get aggressive. And that's not even who I am, right? That's all damage stuff. And today that doesn't happen. But I had to really be willing to turn and look at those different people at the round table and say, how willing am I to set them free and allow them to come out of their cage? And if that means go get outside help and counseling, that's what that means. If that means doing some writing and looking at the wounds in that, that's what that means. If it means healing, that's what that means, forgiveness. But I have to just be willing to turn and look. That's all. I don't have to do much. I just have to not be afraid to turn and look. Just look and say, am I free here? Or is there still a cage? Is there still work to be done? You know? Now, we don't ever have to do that in our entire life. Nobody ever has to do any of that. But I'm assuming if you're looking at this page, maybe I shouldn't assume that you might want to be free like me. If I feel angst in the body at all when something comes up, right? Or I want to run away, like a horse will run away, right? If I feel like I'm fleeing something, I'm not free, right? If I feel like I want to fight something, I'm not free. If I claim things that aren't mine, I'm not free. So those are the things that, by the grace of God, there's awareness, right? That's what I want to be aware of. So that when I see them or my responses to life are reactionary, I can pause and turn around and not be afraid to turn around and look and go, why am I not free here? What is this, right? When I'm not free, here's the danger about not being free for me. When I'm not free of something, then my perception is completely skewed about whatever is happening. And so that means someone could walk up to me and say, hey, Tina, how are you? What's up? Blah, blah, blah. And instead of just saying hi, I would judge that as, I don't know, aggressive, or I would have some kind of judgment. And I'd throw something on that, right? Based on trauma, not based on freedom or truth. So there's a lot to do with this. How free do you want to be is, how free do I want to be from the reactions of others? How free do I want to be from reacting to others? How free do I want to be to laugh when I want to laugh and cry when I want to cry and just allow things to be what they are without claiming and labeling and tagging things as harmful or good or this or that? That may not make some sense to some of you, but how free do you want to be? I know me. I want to be 100% free, girl. 100% free. Or boy, who's ever watching. So, how free do you want to be? Let's pay attention. What is getting the goat? What is turning that attitude? What is going like that and making our shoulders go back or whatever? What has us not free? What has us in that cage? And whatever that is, after you see that, then you can choose to walk through it, to open that door and set yourself free. Bye. Have a great day from sunny South Carolina.